All right, everybody. So here at Cast of the Pod, joining Cobweb, joining Deb, joining myself, Josh. Today we have a special guest, Dr. Quinn. Dr. Quinn, you doing all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing well, everybody. How y'all doing?
Cool, cool, cool. What are your social media links? That way we can get everybody out there to you.
Yes, you can find me on all streaming services at DRXQUINNX. That's your Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, and you can find me on YouTube. My social media is all under DRXQUINNX. My Twitter handle is the same name, DRXQUINNX, but with two underscores. Remember, DRXQUINNX, two underscores for Twitter.
Awesome,
Gooch is God
awesome.
and God is everything.
And like Cobweb was telling us before we started, what's that new album you got going?
Yes, and y'all can y'all can listen to my new album that I just came out with, Gooch is God and God is everything, on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, even Amazon. Yes, Amazon does have music. But yes, make sure y'all stream that album. I guarantee you it is just as scary as this podcast.
Awesome, awesome. And today we're talking about the 1982 masterpiece, John Carpenter's The Thing. Why are you on here today talking about this movie with us?
That is one of my favorite movies since I've grown up with as a kid. And I'll tell you right now, like I've seen this movie thousands of times. So I decided, like, you know what? Kyle hit me up. I was like, you know what? Let's talk about The Thing, because there's a lot to dig in with this. A whole lot to dig in with this. What's good, everybody? It's the Lord Don Bronzeville, Bristol God, Goose Lord Gluttony, Dr. Quinn, bringing mass hysteria to Josh, Deb, in Cobweb's area, all known as Cast of the Pod. What's good, people?
Nice.
Oh man, I have my entertainment value has just skyrocketed to times 10 right now. This is what's up. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is hard. This is hard as hell. Oh shit.
How you feeling today?
You know what? Had to do the update and get the face going on. So I'm glad y'all can hear me clearly and stuff. I may take this off a little bit so I can get something to drink, but yeah, I had to use the trademark this time, and oh yeah. There's more to it. There's more to it, but I mean, I felt I felt it was a little custom since y'all talk about horror movies.
Yeah, that works.
And like,
yeah.
as the Gooch, like with my with the Gooch series I do have, those are very horrific sounds and beats and stuff. So I mean, hey, worlds collide, and we're talking about my favorite movie. Hey, I swear to God, I love this movie. Oh man. My dad put me onto this when I was a kid. So like, I ain't reveal my age, but my dad put me on this as a kid. I swear to God, I've seen this over like thousands of times. No. There's always something new about it when you like keep watching it.
Wow. So, but before we get into the movie, because we hadn't said the name of it yet, the 1982 classic, the not only classic, but it's set the standard, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Before we get into that, Dr. Quinn, I've said your name, Cobweb said your name. Who are you?
I am a Chicago-based MC. I'll take out the mask for me because I get a little hot and this battery want to drain. So, but yes, I'm a Chicago-based artist, producer, MC. 1/3 of the collective Bullies is along with shout out to Denmark Vesey and Azarius. The other half of the Citizens, shouts out to my little bro, little kid, as well as our collective, Lawson 312. I would say that that's been in this game for about, let's see, professionally, I say well known with my first record, almost 10 years now, since 2015. Most people have known me more from like the from Bullies or or when it was known as Doppelganger. People remember that for all the old heads, you know. So most people caught on, especially with the sellout track that Denmark did, along with shouts to my big bro Big Spencer and Earl Sweatshirt. So it was on that record with them. What else? But I think a lot of people really got a real taste of me through the track Richard Pryor and stuff. And like my influences really come from a lot, like from anime, horror movies, real life. Real life is scary enough. I mean,
yeah. A lot of times it's scarier than the movies.
And it's like, one thing I like about horror, it's like the thing I love in certain horror movies is when they add a level of jeopardy. Like I was what is it, like for instance, like Junji Ito, right? Like I think, to me, I feel Junji Ito is a controversial was it? Subject, there you go. Controversial subject in the sense of what in the sense of what Westerners feel is depicted in horror and how it should be translated into motion picture or animation. Because I mean, I recently came out with a Netflix joint, which basically was like telling was like a retelling of all of his horror narratives in the manga, right? So like a lot of them are short stories. So a lot of his things are short stories. I mean, he has like long series like Tomie, and but like they in a sense they all connect in their own world, but not everyone's dealing with the same thing. So you're basically deal with an anthology. So if you're like I feel like for those who like fans of like the anthologies and stuff like that, watching this stuff is for you. But again, like this guy is very by the source material, because like in the past, we've seen in the 90s when anime gets brought over here, there's mistranslations. We have or even over there where like they'll just have OVAs because animation studios were under budgeted and stuff, so they need like hey, we need, or like for instance like JoJo, when it first appeared here, we knew about Jotaro before we even knew about the whole Joestar family, starting with Jonathan Joestar, So but in the sense of Junji Ito, when we're talking about straight to the book and stuff, it's like a lot of people, you hear like get really upset, like, oh, how come they didn't add this? Like there's a story about what is it, a fish that a dead carcass fish, like a giant thing, right? It's just lands on the shore, right? Just right there, right? And people are just amazed by it, right? And honestly, it's more of a like, oh, what is this? In the sense of like he puts you in the action of like, in this story of like, oh, okay, he's being the audience for you, of like asking all the goofy questions and what would you do in this situation? Oh, well, I'm talking to somebody, and finds out this one person who he's talking to, she her fiance was lost at sea, right? Come to find out, this thing burst, and it's nothing but parasitic humans that were living in it and was feeding off it. And in a sense, it
parasitic
was
what?
Humans.
Inside.
People say they were parasitic. People said the guy said, wow, they're like parasites, because they were living inside this fish that ate them, but were living off it and eating off it to survive, to stay alive long enough and stuff. So once it came to shore and it died, they just crawled out into sea, but didn't really live very long.
You've already sold Cobweb onto this. He wants to know what's the name again.
This is the Junji Ito collection on Netflix. Okay. And I say, like I say, it's like if you read it, you'll understand it more. Like anything Junji Ito, like if you just read it, you'll get it, because it's like that's as far as it's going to go. Like when people talk, like we're complaining, I felt like with like angles or scenery, it's like, dog, like it's animated, like that's all you're gonna get, like it's right there. It's the source material.
Now,
Like,
Got him out.
it's kind of funny. It's like everyone complains about the thing they always want when everyone's like, "We can people just stick to the source material?" You got a guy who's giving you straight the source material. It is like, oh well, how come we can't just do this for like, bro, we just can't have nothing. Can't we?
that's in every medium. Nobody's ever going to be completely happy. You can go into Star Wars and people are going to say that. You can get into. To be honest with you, for the three of us, anime is not our strong suit, and like I won't front about it. I didn't know about JoJo until I bought the game on Dreamcast.
Oh man, that's when people first knew about it around that time.
Yeah,
like no one really knew about it until then, and then nowadays, like, oh wait, there's a whole bro, this has been out for years. Which I find is a more interesting story because this whole feud that started in the 1800s just gets passed down through generations.
Deb's like, we're gonna have to do what you call it, back research.
Yeah.
And go. I can tell by that.
Sorry, don't want to get too anime out, but it's like I just kind of did find that in the horror sense, like Genji being like a very decent kind of thought in the sense of like in the sense of like horror and stuff, or even like what is like. I also fuck with The Exorcist. I think that's still a classic, even though it don't even scare me anymore. But it's like, nah,
see, that's where me and Deb are. It always scared her, and even me back as a kid. When I was a kid back then, I didn't know I was supposed to be scared. I was just like, she said a bad word.
Yeah, right.
That little girl just said a bad word. That was it. The demon stuff and all that. I was like, she's cussing.
When I was a kid, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that Exorcist, man. I didn't watch that junk till I got to my 20s.
My brothers put that on
for real
to scare me, and it didn't work. But yeah. But the shit that did scare me, we'll get into that one of these days later on. The shit that did scare me, me and Deborah talked about it after we got married years and years later. We didn't know each other when we were kids or nothing like that. But the first movie that really scared me ended up being a comedy parody. But as a kid, you don't know, and people are telling you, don't look, and they're covering your eyes and shit. And that made it worse in my head, made it scarier in my head, because your imagination is worse than whatever they're going to show you on TV.
Yeah.
Man.
And then you get really scared then.
I had a my buddy called. I was like, after watching Chucky, I was done with that shit. I said, fuck all that.
Have you seen Megan? Have you seen that Megan movie?
Not yet. I've heard about it, but I don't know, man. I've been like, I'll check it out. I'll go check it out.
I compare it to a modern Child's Play better than the Chucky remake that they did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna check this out.
It's very predictable though.
Yeah, it is. It's a popcorn movie. It's setting up some sequels and all that, but it just, But anyways, we're getting back to the classic.
What are we here for anyway?
The Thing.
Right. Because you had me call this dude up. You say, yo, Caldwell, we need a specialist, somebody that knows about this movie. And I said, bet him up. Let's call Dr. Quinn. So what are we doing today, Josh?
We wanted
I'll say this too, and I'll say this, man, not to be cutting in like that, but like,
go for it.
I need someone for Event Horizon. We can go there.
That's one of our favorites.
Did we play the intro?
We haven't played the intro yet. Thanks for reminding me. Hold on.
Specifically horror.
Oh man, it's got to start over. See, look at that. Look at that.
Film.
He came in so hot.
I might have to go back in and just
add
it in digitally. No, we're not gonna do that. Hold on, let me edit this right now on the fly.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. You got?
This podcast is about the horror genre.
specifically horror films. As most horror movies are filled with coarse language, violence, and/or gore, the topics and language of the cast of the pod will also reflect the genre. If you have any issues with the aforementioned warnings, please press stop. However, if you have no issue with adult language, movie violence, or the accoutrement that accompanies horror films, please feel free to continue. You have been warned.
That's the coldest intro, I swear to God.
You have been warned.
Oh,
So if
thank you,
anybody
thank you,
just
thank you.
jumped to the intro at Cast of the Pod, it's me, Josh,
Cobweb.
Deb.
and our special guest today.
Dr. Quinn.
And we're talking about the 1982 classic, The Thing. It's a horror, mystery, sci-fi masterpiece by the one, the only John Carpenter, who's been been all up and down and all around through Cast of the Pod
Yeah.
this past year.
Yeah,
This is
true.
John Carpenter, the man.
I do find it
Yeah.
I find it ironic that we have an artist today here talking about The Thing, and John Carpenter did the movie, the music, the soundtrack for this, and he just used one note for the whole thing. Just done, 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 done. Whole movie done, done.
Hey, you ever be seeing him in concert and shit? Like, this dude was like doing beat sets and shit in real life. He had a whole man had an NPC and a synthesizer. I'm done with the man. I remember one day I was like at a beat concert. I'm like, bro, John Carpenter was here.
But you know what? I might be talking shit, but it worked. It worked because they're out in the middle of the snow, out in the middle of nowhere, and it's alone.
Yep.
And it's giving you the tempo, and it's giving you the anxiety of, okay, what's he going to change it up to? What's he going to change it up to? And nothing's changing. It's just going. Same thing. Every time, it gets heavy. Done. You know.
Yeah, right.
Something was coming.
That's classic John Carpenter 100% though, for real. I mean, how much you think about those beats he put in those movies for the scores, and he got paid for that too?
Yeah, he
was-
did. He got
This is what happened. Jaws
Mhm.
hit, and Jaws hit, and John Williams had his dun. John Carpenter's like, fuck that guy. Hold my beer. He's got two notes. I got one. One.
He snapped on Halloween. Let's be real. He was like, "Look, I'm on a budget. I did all like he like spent. I spent all this. I spent all my what? Yeah, his refund check from the because it was a thesis. He's like, look, I got all this refund check money, man. I just spent all the budget. Look, I gotta. He be mad at this man. He like, look, budget a motherfucker right now.
I can't buy a new keyboard. There's only one key that still works after Halloween. But
let's be real. Let's be real though. That one key been sampled
over and over. Yeah.
at least 6 Mafia done.
Oh, shit.
Oh
Man,
Lord.
I should have had that in the board here. Just that one note. Just
Bro.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh man. So this movie, I mean, anybody listening to this podcast has had to have seen this movie. This is one of the classics that when we talk about it, I mean, do we other than the nostalgia of it, other than what we are going to discuss about it ourselves in our conversation, there's no need to break down what happens in the movie step by step by step. It's cold. They're out in the middle of nowhere. Here comes this helicopter shooting after a dog, and it's some crazy guy, and they save the dog.
That was stupid.
First off, I thought about this, right? Who was the Norwegian dude that was in the stage that said this? When the dude yelled at them, was like, and then turned back for a minute and said, wait a minute. wait a minute, they don't understand it, dude. I forgot about that. I'm gonna watch their reaction. I want to know because, like, for real, like, Buddy spoiled the whole movie in the beginning. You like, if you just knew Norwegian, he said it off rip.
Did you know that, Cobweb?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one crazy guy. That, man, if we would have had the internet back then when I first saw this movie, then it
You
just,
wouldn't have to watch the whole movie.
yeah, Google Translate, and then yeah, that's it.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
because
picked
that was the
up
whole thing.
I picked it up when I was younger. Like after watching, after a while, you're like, wait a minute, no, he wouldn't even. I'm like, wait, Buddy wouldn't even like being crazy. He was warning them.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
he was.
And then like when the internet was young, because it was the information was, I was like, okay, it confirms. All right, so I was right about that. But man, it's like, think about who, man, dog, right?
And who gave these fools the ability to throw grenades? I mean, who trained them?
Bro, come,
Dude.
why were you digging it up? That's the thing. Like, bro, you would sit there. Wait, let me go. No, run.
Go the
Help
other way.
them.
Go the other way. I'm gonna drop the grenade. I know it's in the snow. It's gonna fall down like 3 feet. I got enough time to dig in 3 feet.
I'm mad how Lars. I'm mad that Lars forgot he had mittens on. It said, like, bro.
You know,
He did have some big ass mittens on, right? It was like all cotton.
Like, I'm trying, he was able to damn near shoot the dog, but like all of a sudden the grenade.
and then it did that action movie, kind of blew up off to the side, but it caught the whole damn helicopter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bro.
You know who
it all had to go.
I blame for everything though?
Oh.
The boss, Gary, the guy with the gun. I blame him.
Man,
because everybody's out there.
That's why he gave up control.
Yep, because everybody's out there, and everybody's trying to figure out what happened. That one guy gets grazed in the knee and all that, and then he's just staying.
Oh right.
And he shoots him from the window, back where nobody's at. Doesn't give him a chance to do nothing. He wasn't spraying at them or anything like that. The Norwegian guy. It was
right. He just freaked. Right. Gary just freaked out because he saw a dude shoot and just shot him. Yep. He wasn't even thinking about like what's the situation. You can't blame him for reacting the way he did because, like, you know, one guy got hit as a casualty. You know, like, so he didn't know, but he should have been aware that if he was walking past everybody and was shooting the dog. Like, quite honestly, at this point, I've learned from this movie is this. It's like, look, if I see someone chasing the animal for some reason, I'm going to leave it alone. For all we know, that motherfucker saving the world.
I'm just looking for excuses because I didn't like
I'm gonna let that shit alone. Like, hold on, there might be a reason. All of a sudden, we finding out at the last minute of the kettle.
He didn't say the world.
No.
Oh shit.
Straight up, I couldn't have been out there because I didn't like Gary. I didn't like Windows, and I didn't like what's his name. What was his name here? Wilford Brimley, Dr. Blair.
Oh, Dr. Blair.
The three.
I ain't mad at Blair for losing his mind.
Oh no! I mean, I just didn't like him at all from the beginning. Just Wilford Brimley and his diabetes is just you know.
Yeah, I get Blair, you know, but something was up.
It was like,
you know,
it's like, it was funny. It's like it's like Palmer and Norris were the first ones infected. You know, after the dog got in, like we caught that. It's like it's like what kills. It's like I get Blair in his nose, but at the same time when he lost his mind, it's like kind of understand how he feels. You know, he's just like he looking at the situation like, yeah, everybody gotta die.
So there's a bunch of theories out there, Dr. Quinn. Let me ask you. They said Brimley got it when he was doing the autopsy and he was using the pencil to dig around in the body, and then he was sitting there and he was tapping it on his mouth. You think that's when he got infected? As our dogs are barking in the background, as they're melting into one giant dog.
Throw something at them.
I didn't even think about that, Josh. I didn't even think
I
about
remember
that.
no, because I remember that theory, and I remember them talking about that.
And he had that #2 old school pencil with that diamond shaped eraser that you get at the book fair. You get like 10 of them for 25 cents. And just he was messing around with it, and he's explaining to them. As he's explaining to them, he's going like this.
You're right, he did. He was, but I didn't think that whole thing was really sanitary anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the concept of him doing that and getting
No, it wasn't.
contaminated was very high.
Yep.
Well,
Short,
that
You
was-
know,
There was that one
It's
part
not-
when he like put his hand in there and it was all touching his arm.
he had that short, the short gloves on, didn't even have them pulled down to his hands or anything like that.
why did they even bring it back?
Because the movie needs.
Why would you bring it back?
Because they were gonna be famous.
They thought
Famous
they
my ass.
didn't
They were gonna
understand what
turn
it
it in.
was. Like they thought it was a scientific find. I mean, I couldn't blame what they thought, but at the same time, the way Blair acted, because I mean, one thing I was judging on was their acting and their actions, you know, and to me, it led into a couple theories of like, it can slowly spread inside and can lay dormant if it chooses. Because remember, it moves on its own by one zygote. It moves on its own because, like, if it want to show itself, it can. Like, I felt Palmer was doing more of the nonsense out of everyone, which is the funny part. Because I would say in that event, if the doctor was infected, then it had to lay dormant for quite some time. You know, if not, he got caught when the lights went out. But the thing with Norris, like he already was infected in that sense. And I can't sit here and say it would like lay dormant with him. He was just biding his time as well. Like it's funny when you look at their acting, it's like Norris and Palmer had no opinion.
Okay.
They had no opinion. Like
you're right.
Like,
they kind of just went along with the flow of everything, you know.
Yeah.
They started like more observant, like they trying to learn or take more stuff in than actually being outward.
Because when you think about
know?
when Gary was offering up the leadership of who should have the gun, you know, everyone freaked out except for Palmer. Well, Palmer acted on it. Norris didn't. But started acting upon like stopping Giles from getting it.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to think about like the way like in the sense of like how humans kill, because like everyone was like, what was it? Like even Clark. Because if Clark wanted to be the thing, why would he have to grab the knife? None of the people who were turned into the thing even grabbed a weapon. None.
That shows you the violent nature of humans.
I didn't even think about it.
No, I didn't even think about that either. Well, they didn't need it.
So the first time I saw
they didn't need weapons.
Yeah.
So that was truly
like
alien to them.
Tell who's who, because that's one thing that confuses about the Blair situation. Because the thing wouldn't just act upon like that, you know, erratically and shoot a gun at somebody to be like, I'll kill you. Because that man just lost his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's losing a host. So it wouldn't use a gun because they want that body as another host. So it's an asset.
They need it alive.
Yeah.
They still shouldn't have let that dog walk around everywhere.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
They had all the other dogs in the kennel. And then Clark's dumbass just let it'll be fine. If anything, have one of your regular dogs walking around. Put the new one in the kennel. I don't know.
It's like, and it's funny. It's like it's funny. It's like when you watch them, it's like You see everyone exhibiting some kind of human nature. Windows are scared. Windows and Knowles were scared as shit. I never seen a man sweat so hard. Like harder than Knowles. Like every time he was in a scene, that man was drenched. That man was terrified. Like that, I think that's the beauty of that movie too. It's like you know, granted it's an all-male cast, but it was kind of funny as it was, because it's kind of like reminiscent in the sense of like 12 Angry Men, you know, in the sense of like but like in the sense of like a collective of people having to pull together, even though they're being vulnerable with each other's differences in that way. But it's like in this situation, you know, like, because remember the 80s, we had so many macho films and stuff, and you know, what is it, like even what's his name, Kurt Russell and Keith David were in action films and stuff too. Yeah. But there was no, they weren't in action films back then. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were.
Oh yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you, man. Come on.
Okay.
Come
I'm
on.
about to say, I'm like,
yeah, when you mention Kurt Russell, you also have to mention the hair.
Okay?
Yeah.
And like
Kurt Russell had really good hair.
And but like there was no macho man in this.
I never thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
There's
no regular action hero stuff in here.
Yeah, like there was no macho in this. Like everyone was terrified. Like people were just freaking the fuck. Like this is when egos fight, because it's like there is something in plain sight that you don't know who it is to trust, and everyone is sitting here figuring it out while fighting with themselves, and you're seeing everyone crumble. Like Gary, for instance, when he gave the gun up, he was automatically captain, and he realized he could not control shit. It's like, bro, you the captain. It's like, bro, you the captain. Lead us somewhere. Like, bro, I can't lead you to shit. Someone else can do it. This is too much for me. I don't see it enough. Dogs turning into aliens.
There was a little bit of I mean, the head button and them being the machismo between Childs and McCready.
Clark trying to be the hero in the sense of like, bro, I'm gonna end all this nonsense now. We're gonna settle it out. Can't get mad at Clark because he was automatically blamed, and don't nobody feel like being blamed. Windows automatically shut down. That was it. There was nothing to Windows at all. Knowles just went with the flow. He was shutting down, but was on the brink half the time, but was right there at the action. I will give him that. But that's why I exclude, right? But what you got, McCready, who was just ready. Childs ready. They were just ready. Like, you know what? We done been through some shit. Like, look, we're gonna figure this out so one way or another.
Man,
you have to exclude Norris and Palmer because we know who they are at this point. But like, yes, there was no right, but like seeing those egos where like they just like collide in that sense, it's like just like really builds a great tension in a horror film in that aspect, because like it's right, it's like it's not because it's funny, it's like when you see like, you know, like slasher films, for instance, it's like someone has to be the hero and stuff, and it's like, no, there is no hero. This is a possibility where everybody dies.
Yeah.
You know, like you either going to freeze to death or you either going to get assimilated.
So with all the
things, I don't think freezing to death was actually even a way out of it, because sooner or later that creature is going to recontaminate them some kind of way, whoever comes.
Well, the freezing death was the way out for the creature, for the alien, because it was just
for the human. I'll say if a human wanted to, in that sense, I mean, not to say it like that, but it's like, yeah, if like giving them conditions, it's like you either gonna take your chances with this alien and figure this out, or you gonna just, hey, I'm taking my chances with the cold, forget it.
Yeah, right.
So at the end, who was who in your opinion? Was Childs?
We're gonna do this right now.
Well, I mean, we're talking about being left out in the snow, and
I want to know.
I don't think either. I don't think either of them. You know,
what do you think about
either.
about the highlighting theory that the cinematographer came out with.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the cinematographer in the during the 30-year reunion came out and said that like during the blood test scene. Oh my, I forgot his name already. Who was was it Windows that was infected? No, it was
No, that was Palmer.
Palmer. Like
Okay, yeah.
everyone they showed
I
during
love that
the
scene.
has like how Cobweb, you can see the reflection in his glasses. They had highlights, and Palmer's eyes didn't have the highlights. So the cinematographer purposely shut off the light so that his eyes would be blank. And when you're watching the end and it's just Childs and it's McCready, Childs has no
Mhm.
highlights, no reflection in his eyes whatsoever.
Oh man, how
And
I missed this.
they also
Are you
said
serious?
Yeah,
that what's his name? Kurt Russell. He was breathing. You could see the
yeah. You can
see his
you can see
breath.
the mist, the steam, or whatever,
but you couldn't with the other one.
And with Childs, yeah, he didn't have it. You couldn't see his breath.
But I don't know.
But then Charles come out. Was Charles? Well, Charles was armed when he came up to him, though, wasn't he?
But I think he was
Yeah,
armed.
Yeah, he
when
was. Yeah, he was. But at the same time, there was that thing about the missing jacket.
Yeah, because Childs was wearing a blue jacket the last time you saw him.
There are two blue jackets, right? And the
Right.
and one had different kind of pockets.
Yep. And then when you see him at the end, and it might be because he's covered in snow and all that, but it's a lighter gray jacket with different pockets. And they're saying that's how it tears your clothes up when you're transforming.
Yep.
That between that last time when he was wearing the dark blue jacket, the Han Solo type jacket, that's when that happens.
Yeah. Yep. Keith David was a thing in the end.
And they were also
I always thought he was. There was no hiding from that. The way he just disappeared like that, that's straight like an alien type of thing, where you send like one off to the side to get away from everything, so just you're gonna have a survivor, and we'll just keep going through with the plan in case something falls through, type of thing.
the other.
I think I knew.
My thing is, like,
was.
when could he have gotten them, man? But I guess when that's why they showed him running. That's why they showed him running and shit. So.
The other thing they were saying was McCready was making Molotov cocktails, and he had a bunch of Molotov cocktails with him. And at the end, when he's sitting there and he's just waiting to die, and that's when Childs walks up. He's kind of looking at him and he's kind of unsure about him, right? And he puts the drink up to his face. Doesn't really look like he takes a swig, but then he hands it over to Childs. Childs drinks it. And he's like, yeah, and he hands it back to him. And that's when McCready laughs. He's like, So it was probably kerosene in the drink.
Man,
Childs didn't even react to it like a human would react.
Oh shit!
Man. Oh damn!
And that's why McCready laughs and he's like, oh, it's done.
It confirms, like, how could a human being drink kerosene?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh, man. my mind is
I
blown.
totally missed it too.
Look at this. See, you learn something new every day on Cast of the Pod, ladies and gentlemen.
But according to Carpenter, it's all up to us. He doesn't have a set what it was. The cinematographer says that, because of the highlighting, that Childs was an alien. But John Carpenter says it's up to us.
I just think he is because he just looked like a shiesty Joker. Okay.
So
he must have.
There's always them small details. That's the thing that kills me. I love those little details.
So if he was at the end, then what happens to them? They both he went to sleep, and
if McCready didn't set off like a grenade and blow them both up or set them both on fire, then they both freeze. McCready dies, and the alien's there until somebody else comes back up, wakes them up again, defrosts them, and it starts over.
Starts all over. But they said
which will happen when the rescue team comes.
Yep.
They said 27,000 hours until complete world domination. That is.
I don't think that plan was stopped. That plan was not stopped.
Now, this is not a hidden message or hidden Easter egg or anything like that. Y'all know who the voice of the computer was?
I just saw it. I was gonna say.
Ooh.
Oh,
Adrian Barbeau
Oh wow.
from The Fog, John Carpenter's The Fog, also The Swamp Thing
And Creep Show.
and Creep Show, and most young boys' dreams from the 80s. I'm just gonna say that back in the day.
Swamp Thing. Oh,
Not that I had a crush on her or anything like that, but yeah, Adrian Barbeau.
that's wild.
that's your thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Man, I kind of wanted McCready to be the alien though, and Childs to be the human. You know why?
Because you don't expect.
Why?
One, because he didn't expect it, but he pissed me off right at the beginning of the movie. You know, they're out there, they're gonna be out there 6 months, a year, or whatever, freezing. And he's like, "Oh, the computer beat me. Let me throw my alcohol on the computer." Punk ass.
I know, right?
Yeah, he was being like that.
He went and fucking rage quit before that was even a thing.
Man, he did have that leather
the
coat was
ultimate
fly
rage
though.
quit. That
And
was
he
the
had to
ultimate
fly, and
rage
he
quit. Like how? Why? Just because a computer beat you? You could have beat this thing.
He's like these people that lose in Madden and then throw their control
even
at the
start.
TV.
I ain't seen
They were up there for a long time. How
Exactly.
many times you think that computer probably beat him?
One too many times. That's how many times.
Right.
Maybe it was the first time. Yeah, Matt.
I don't think so. That was like somebody had a grudge. Like they had history.
So let's take turns on this one. We'll start with Deb. Deb, what was the one scene, either in this last rewatch or the first time you saw it or whatever, that's you'll always remember, that sticks in your mind?
The spider. When his head turns into a spider and he's crawling away and they don't even know. They
Well,
don't even see
and they
him.
see it, and I can't remember. I'm horrible with names in movies and in real life. I've been hit in the head too many times. But maybe it was Windows. Somebody was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me."
Oh, that was Palmer.
So this was the first time I've seen it.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I've seen,
Really?
like parts of it, like off of like clips.
Oh, okay.
So I knew like that would, but I'd never seen the movie completely. Like, so yeah, when I saw the spider, that scared me. Like,
Wow.
That was a fucked up scene.
Cobweb, how about you? What's the scene for you?
That whole scene with the blood thing, when they're doing the blood test. That whole I love that whole scene to death. Oh my gosh. How they be looking? Oh yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. And they sit up there and it's like when it jumps, when I first saw the first time it jumped, it got me, I was like, oh shit, that just scared the shit out of me. And it just started going crazy. And Kurt, I'm screaming at Kurt Russell, use the freaking flamethrower, Joker, turn that shit on. But he didn't panic. It went to hell in a shitstorm. And within seconds, this plan that he had that was going to be tight went to hell in a second.
Using all that gas. He was there talking for 3 hours instead of getting work done, just leaking the gas out the whole time. Standing there the whole damn time.
Oh my God. He had this all figured out. I got the dynamite. I got them all figured out. We're going to get the bottom of this. I got this. Boom. Oh shit. What the fuck? I need help. They screaming at each other on that bench, going back and forth. Oh my God.
Oh,
Dr. Quinn, how about for you?
It was the same one. It starts with this, and my sister and I got this joke that we always say to each other. But from the start of that scene right here, it's like on to that. It's like, you ain't tying me up. They want to kill you, child. Then kill me. I was like, dog, why? But yes, going from there to, the blood scene, that is, oh God, that whole thing was funny. That I'm right there with Conway on that one. That is the goated scene. Like, because then when Palmer gets windows and he lifts him up.
Oh yes.
He's kicking the lights and shit.
Who
Oh
was it? Norris that turned into the spider?
Yes.
yeah, Norris was the one that turned into the spider.
For me, it was when they're giving him CPR.
Oh
His
shit!
chest
Oh.
cracked open,
Oh.
and he's got teeth. And the practical effects in this movie, how everything was done right there in front of everybody, is amazing.
It cuts his
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of scenes where you can tell that they're using like air tubes and they're moving the tentacles around and all that, but they did that right there in front of people, in front of the camera. You know,
You got the real reaction.
yes, that's good.
It was good, man.
No.
I loved it. It was just enough. It was just enough, you know. I mean, like, why did they bring it back to the base?
Why
to
do,
get famous.
why do people go to the garage when they
It
hear-
didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if they brought the body back because the dog was there already.
That's true.
it, yeah, it would have had happened a little later, but it still would have happened.
They just brought extra.
See,
Just
that they played a long game.
Just in case nothing happened with the dog.
Right.
Bring extra.
It's,
But I like how that played that also played into the factor, because it's like, did it start with the dog or did it start with the body? Because it's like because it made you ask the question, who got infected from what?
that's a good question.
It was from the dog.
Yeah.
We all know it's from the dog, but I mean, it's like when it first presents itself, it's like, oh, it kind of adds a little mix up. But yeah, like why I'm right there with you.
That's right, because the dog went into the room and you couldn't tell if it was Palmer or if it was Norris.
But obviously by the collar, we know it
Shadows.
was Norris.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the doctor's arms going into his chest and just getting bit off at the wrist.
Oh, that was hard, right?
Th-
That shit was sick.
He got, man. Oh.
Man, that was hard.
I haven't seen the 2011 remake, continual, prequel, whatever it is.
The prequel was all right. It wasn't as great. I would say more so like it's just it's one of those things of like, oh, let's just piece it together now.
So it is a prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel. So
okay.
Wait, hold on.
The 2011 thing, it's the prequel.
Yeah, it's called The Thing, just like this.
Yeah, it's
that's a
to
prequel?
it. So yeah, so it starts where they start in the Norwegian camp. Yeah. But the ending is, everyone's watching it for the ending. Because the ending is the beginning. And they reshot the beginning.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Now I'm gonna have to
See, I
watch.
never saw it because I just thought it was just like I didn't.
Yeah. I had to read it and I was like, oh, okay.
So the ending ends with him trying to shoot the dog?
Yup.
Well, you know the whole movie's a remake, Deb, from The Thing from Outer Space, the original one.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. See, now you learn. Nah.
Like how it
But at
did.
least this remake, but at least the 82 remake was more closer to the source material.
Mhm.
Now I want to watch the other one.
Yeah, the prequel ain't that bad. I mean, it's just one of those things of like it's just something to cruise to in the sense. I'm like, okay, now I see how it happens. They just they basically piece everything together. So all the things you saw in the Norwegian camp, those wind up, making Easter eggs into it. Like the dudes had the two-face and yeah. So it pieces all that together and then it ends with Lars chasing her.
Wow.
See, that's what I got to watch that then. I got to see now. You got me interested in it because, I mean, I like that type of stuff. If it's in there like that, I have to put it on the list.
So I was wrong. Apparently,
Definitely.
the music wasn't Carpenter.
He got some other Joker to play one note.
Ennio Morricone.
Oh,
What is this? That is his alter ego.
his producer name.
Can y'all hear it?
Right.
Like Earl Sweat. It's like Earl Sweatshirt's random black dude.
He just keeps.
We know you're the same dude.
Right. He's just trying to get more money. You know, it's tax purposes.
I claim him as a dependent.
Oh shit.
Musical score by Juan Plummer. John Carpenter.
Juan Plummer?
Yeah.
I just got it.
That's a bad joke. It's been a long day. Give me a break.
Oh
I still
shit.
crack up at like Palmer's reactions to everything. And it's what's funny is that when you saw him in the beginning, it was him, and Buddy was automatically a stoner, so we just automatically knew how to play dumb. Like, yeah, I'm not going with Windows. I'm going with Childs. I'm like really. You think about that reaction when he said that, he wanted the strongest people. It wanted the strongest people and weed them out.
If it got the stronger ones first, much easier.
Yeah, could nobody do anything? That's what it was looking for. That was an interesting look at it. It was like he's like, I'm not going with Windows. I'm going with Childs. I'm like, dog.
Yep. I didn't think about that.
I didn't either.
It makes you wonder how much of this was good writing and how much of it was just a coincidence.
Right.
I think it was good writing, man. It was great writing. It was so simplistic, and it was great.
Yeah, you couldn't really make something that intricate, like just out of a whim. Like that was intricately placed.
Yeah. And the twists and turns, he left it so open like that on purpose. He did that. Carpenter's a freaking genius.
So go ahead.
I mean, I find it funny as hell that like that inspired Among Us. That mobile game that got hot in 2020 that was made in 2018.
Yeah.
If you've seen like Jelly Bean looking spaceman.
Yeah, that's basically because that makes sense, because there's that one character that you're not supposed to believe. And then that's
cool. They even have a snow level where it's based off the actual movie.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Oh man, and
wow.
If you see people play that, it is the funniest. Like for those who already know it is, but I love it because it's like I can imagine how it's like thinking about how that game worked and watching this movie. I'm like, yeah, that's why people got into mad arguments. People was like, man, no, that's cap. That's cap. You wasn't that Shields. You wasn't that Shields. I was just that Shield. No, that's cap. Like, oh, people argue. That game will turn you into, like, people talk about some werewolf. Nah, that was great. Like, you want to play The Thing? That's the next best game to it, like Among Us.
Okay.
I haven't downloaded. I played it a couple of times, but yeah, that makes sense about the whole trying to figure out who the one person is. Good stuff.
Man, that movie is, oh god.
So here's a kind of a loaded question. If you could, what would you change about the movie? One scene or one bit of it. You don't have to change anything if you don't want to, but if you could.
I was gonna say that I wouldn't change anything. It was perfect.
Deb?
I don't know.
Cobweb?
I would say, what was his what's my man's name? He walked off, the stoner guy.
Windows?
Yeah. When he walked off like that. I thought that he could have used a better scene for his him getting taken or whatever happened to him. I know they kind of just like left it like, oh, you just heard like a noise. He's like, oh, they got him. You know, but I thought that they kind of played my man kind of shady. Everybody got a good death scene or something like that, but you know, he He didn't get one.
Yeah.
You know, and then the whole concept of the doctor sitting up there talking about he's going to be good. You know, I'm going to be good when I come back. Just let me back in. Just let me back in. And he's sitting up there with the noose hanging in the side, you know, in the room. You know, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. You know, come on, cut the shit. Cut the shit. Did you see that, Deb?
No, this is just, I was just trying to figure out how to do that. I saw it on TV one time, and I was
Right.
I was dying every time I saw that. I'm like, this man is not well. No, you're not coming back in. I feel bad to turn around, but like, no, bro, I know you're not good, bro. You're not good at all.
But the effort putting into doing that, you know, I know he's trying to unalive himself because he's out there in solitary by himself, and he's worried and he's scared. This before he got turned and all that. But still, you wouldn't have to do all that. And we say unalive here on Cast of the Pod just to not mess up algorithms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, he didn't have to. He was just extra. He didn't have to go through all that just if he was going to do himself in.
Hey, he was trying to make a statement.
What would I change?
You know, he was doing that on purpose because he wanted them to make sure that if they saw that they would not let him back in. Okay.
He didn't want
So
to.
the
human in him.
No, he didn't. He was busy working.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah. Then so the alien was trying to make it look like, so they wouldn't. They was throwing them off the trail.
Yes.
That way they leave him alone. See, that's the thing I would change. The thing that the same scene. They get out there and he's got a whole little micro spaceship built out of toasters and a stove.
Toasters and a stove.
That's right. I forgot that he had it was him that had the thing in the
excuse me.
What?
They're aliens. Okay. They came here on a spaceship.
No,
okay?
I forgot.
I'm pretty sure.
I forgot he had it underneath. I forgot it was
right, Josh. Yeah. Well, come on, Josh. He could have did that.
But here's the thing: they got that big ass giant spaceship, and they've already established that they're one cell organisms, right? That any one cell from it can become its own thing and live off on its own thing, and all that, right? Like where
right.
all the other ones are? Was this just the one that made it after the crash? And thinking about it, there's two things I changed about the movie.
I think they said I think they even said in the article, like it was that it was like that spaceship in particular was transporting like other beings, and everything else died but it.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's the one thing they uncovered and stuff.
Here's the other thing I would have changed. I completely forgot, and when I first saw it years and years ago, I forgot that there was a spaceship right at the beginning. Before it even said the thing, they already showed the spaceship. I would have not had the ship and just leave that for the big reveal later on when they find the ship in the snow that it's an alien. Just to add the suspense. I mean, we know it's a masterpiece. We know it's a classic, and
I'm not gonna lie, Cloverfield stole their bit from that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the ending of Cloverfield when you see the see the alien drop at the end. It's a nod off, it's a nod off to the thing.
Supposedly they're working on the next Cloverfield already.
I'm not even watching that.
Did you watch a Cloverfield Paradox?
I've seen I'm not. No. I've seen it. I've seen all three. I'm just there for the one. Just there for the one.
That's it. You sold in.
John Goodman.
Yeah, that 10 Cloverfield Lane was something different.
I don't need y'all to try to rework it together again to be now it's canon. This is how it happened. No, I just need more of that monster.
Well, there's going to be two of them in this next Cloverfield movie. Two kaiju.
I really hope they just. I'm now I'm interested. I got to see this now.
I know what I would have changed.
What?
The dog. Why did he have to kill the other dogs?
I knew you were going to say something like that. I knew it was going to be you and Cobweb that it was gonna be like, oh, the poor dog. I mean, I love our dogs too, and all that, Deborah. But whenever there's any kind of dogs or kind of
Haven't you seen that meme? I'm not gonna watch it if the dog dies.
both of y'all always go.
If Blair didn't kill the rest of the dogs, they probably would have had a better test. They could have just sent the dude into the room, into the kennel by himself, and be like, all right, let's just wait to see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
The dog
One
was trying to
by
get
one.
up, boy.
If
He
we
was
heard
trying to bite through that
anybody
gate.
heard any barking or something, like we know what it is.
the one smart dog was like, get me out of here now.
Man, you saw him
Yeah.
right through the gate.
Yes, he was biting through the gate.
All the other dogs were just crying in the corner. They're just gonna take it. And that one dog was like, fuck, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Yep.
Get me
Yep.
out.
He's like, come get this dough. Come get this dough. Y'all bullshitting. Come get this dough.
Not one of us.
Right. They would say they cool over there, but I want to get the fuck out.
He said he was like biting right through the fencing. I'm sitting there like, oh my God. He like, I gotta go. Felt that spirit, and I'm like, I would have done the same shit. Like, let me break this fence.
They didn't even like him when he came in the kennel.
I think every
everybody
time I've seen that
Yep.
scene, I just die laughing from just watching this dog like just struggle getting out of there.
Go back, all of us go back and watch the movie. In that scene, the dog starts peeling the hole through the gate, right? And then he looks at Clark like this. Look, he put enough to get his face through the gate, and he's like,
what y'all bring this fool around here for? We was cool. We ain't no extra dog.
Who is this Norwegian dog? We don't know what it
Right, you
is.
bring this corner up in here.
he looked at Clark.
That's the same as all.
He looked
You
at
don't even speak this type of
And when
language.
Clark
what I'm saying.
opened the kennel, and then the dog knocked him off. He said, "Hey, Brad." He said, "The fuck out of here."
that one dog looked at Clark. He looked at Clark. He's like, man, this dog doesn't even bark in English, man.
Right, exactly. Why would you keep the Norwegian dog? Okay, the dog is not. You don't know Norwegian, so you don't know the dog is not gonna.
It didn't even bark.
You.
It didn't even bark dog. It's just it. It's like, nah, we know ain't no damn dog. It ain't a dog at all.
The next time you see two crazy blonde guys in a helicopter shooting at a dog, you should
leave it alone.
That's their business. That's their business. That's the whole problem with people today. They always get involved in somebody else's business. Leave them the fuck alone. Obviously, they have a serious issue that they need to resolve. So fuck that.
All you know, they was trying to save the world.
Yes.
It was trying to save the world, and you just stopped them in their tracks. They was like, we was right. We was so close to the helicopter.
No, they stopped themselves with the
that throw alone. I'm like,
no. See, what happened was, right? They were making lasagna and the base before all this shit happened. Then it worked through all the other Norwegians, and then Sniper Norwegian was like, yo, this fucking dog is the alien. And the guy's like, I'm trying to get the lasagna out right now. He had his oven mitts. He's like, you're the only one that can fly the helicopter. He's like, yeah, but it's like negative 30 degrees outside. He's like, well, just leave your mitts on and fly the helicopter. I'm gonna shoot this alien dog right here. And he's like, well, give me time to change into my parka. He's like, no, we got to do this now. The dog's already. So he was wearing his lasagna oven mitts, and that's how he dropped the grenade. He should have just stuck to the lasagna.
And that's how the fire started.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he left the oven on when he was gone.
Yep.
Those dogs, bro.
That's what happened. Yep.
Man, they should have left them well alone. The man walked past everybody. It was just like, nah, it is not your business. Trust me, you are safe.
If the dog's over 10 pounds, don't trust it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
What's the 10-pound rule?
If it's if the dog's too big where you can't just kick it and kill it, then
Oh, you kick it and kill it.
no, I am not sanctioning anybody kicking
Bro.
real dogs. I'm talking
For
about
all
the
we,
mosquito.
for all we know,
Yeah,
right?
bro.
For all we know, that thing
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
as much compressed mass it is. And for all we know, it is like double its weight if you lift it up.
Yeah, it's like lead. Is this big, weighs 50 pounds? Or you go to kick it and then it just melts around your ankle, like when your hands pushed into when the hands went in during CPR.
I was like, why did they put them in the same kennel with the other dogs?
Because it's not like they had extra kennels.
Should have made
True
them.
that. They should.
Because think about it.
They were stupid, Deb.
Not
Deb,
only
they were idiots.
not only that, they're like, let's get the kennel ready so we can put the dog in here. They're like, all right, let's take all this gear out. They had all that gear in there when it was a regular kennel for the regular dogs already.
They lost all those
Wait.
dogs.
What?
That's
Now
why.
I'm-
Okay,
now I
after you
wanna
saw
know.
the ship, after you saw the ship, why? And you saw the lengths that they went to try to destroy everything.
Mhm.
Why would you bring it back?
I already said to get
You-
famous.
Money. I wouldn't bring it back. Shit, don't look at me. I would have
But
burned it
again, it didn't matter.
But after Bennings got infected, though, then they did make that swift decision to. I mean, sadly, it took that to make that swift decision to like burn every one of those.
Yeah.
You know, they did burn that one afterwards and stuff. It's like thinking about how the story went. It's like, okay, I was like, okay, oddly enough, a dude shooting at a dog in a helicopter, that don't make sense. And then piecing everything together and stuff, and then the spaceship, not knowing what it can actually do. And because what is it? They did that autopsy of the dog and compared it to the other one and stuff to like figure out what it can do. That's when Blair was doing more. Yup. So you can't really knock the reasoning behind it to see because it doesn't seem because it wasn't like there's one thing of it getting famous, but then it was like wait a minute, wait, I'm looking at this a little closer, this little that's when Blair lost his mind on that one really, but again that writing you can't man, they made sure there was no hole in that shit.
No, they kept it tight, but they kept it loose.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I'm sticking with my pencil theory. And
No, I'm right there.
all I know is Dr. Blair would not have been able to survive during Corona because he was just touching shit and putting it in his mouth, just under his mask
consistently,
and just not washing his dirty ass hands.
I didn't see anybody wash their hands throughout this.
And he threw that. I ain't gonna front though. That alien, he did throw that. No, nobody did wash their hands. They did. You know, I mean,
now
how he threw that ship up together, like they was saying, that whole little ship that the alien was making that quick.
That little tiny saucer.
It was just a one-seater.
He was making a damn Futurama little UFO out of a toaster and like an old coffee pot, one of those percolator coffee pots.
Right.
And then he had a couple of like subwoofers in there that he changed up to be like turbos or something like that. But this goes back to, and I'm not making fun of these past couple years and anybody that lost some loved ones and it changed all our lives and all that. But this is another movie. What was the other one we talked about? That if they followed Corona rules, wore a mask, stayed 6 feet apart from everybody, shit wouldn't have happened.
Oh, the vampire movie, Near Dark.
Yeah, Near Dark.
Yeah, vampire.
Stay 6 feet away. Don't turn into a vampire.
Well, that's the thing, Josh. Vampires are going to break that rule. Okay, stop it.
They don't break the rule of don't come in my house. If I don't invite you in my house, you can't come in my house.
They're going to track you down on the street.
Go order in Uber. Dr. Quinn, we've got a conundrum. We've got a problem
Oh,
here.
I get it. I'm just like, I'm kind of glad vampires are not a.
Okay.
It's Corona, not vampires, bro. That'd be.
No, it's
We got to ask you a question, Dr. Quinn, and me and Cobweb and Deb, we all butt heads on this one, and it's okay to have your own opinion about it. Just we won't tell you who's who on it, but and not necessarily the alien from the thing, because it just takes you over and you don't have a brain or nothing like that. You just become whatever it was. But say like for vampires, you're gonna get this unlimited awesome power of vampire, and you still keep your brain, you still keep your memories and all that. The only thing is, you're thirsty for blood. If you have this opportunity, would you turn it down?
Yeah, I would.
Well,
I had this conversation with a friend before. I was like, because I play Skyrim a lot, so I'm like, you could choose between being a werewolf and a vampire. I'm like,
yeah.
I just werewolf. I mean, at least
same here, bro.
But no. See, I worded it wrong. I worded it wrong.
Because it's like, at least you have the day, and then like,
No.
like you can choose to be at night. Like there's some things I like to do in the day. Like, did you, like grocery shopping or paying bills.
Yeah.
You necessarily pay, like if something happens, you can necessarily be like, hit up a landlord, like, bro, it's 3 a.m. Why are you hitting me up, bro? Like,
Well, see, I worded it wrong. Would you turn away some type of mystical, magical power, and the only thing you have to pay is like every now and then you have to kill, but you get to pick who you kill, or every now you have to turn during a full moon? Would you turn away these movie creature powers just because, like, some people are like, oh, well, you lose a soul? You don't lose a soul if you believe in the soul, whatever you are.
No. He's trying to be going about it the whole wrong way, and he's changing up the whole concept.
I think you know who stands where who.
Right. This is how we broke it down, the cookbook, and we're gonna break it down to you too. Okay. If you were cornered by a vampire and he says either I can turn you or you die,
Yes,
what do you do?
Turn.
I have a choice before turn or die. Okay, that makes a whole other situation. About turn or I might as well just turn. Fuck it.
Yeah.
See,
exactly.
Well, fuck it. You know what?
See, Cobweb's all like, oh, well, then you have to do all this bad. Well, if you still have your brain, look at
if a dude said it was like if I had no choice and I was cornered, like, man, you either gonna die or you're gonna be a vampire. I'm like, yeah, I'll be a vampire. I mean, at least I'll live forever. Like I'm at I look at age where I'm an adult, so I have no problem getting into places. So I'm pretty.
He's rationally thinking it out.
Can't really be mad about it. I think I remember in 4th grade we had this thing like, if you were to choose an age to live forever to look like, what would you choose? I was like 25. 25, sign me up. I will look 25 for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my argument is, yeah, you turn into a vampire, you turn into a creature or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you could still do good with these new gifts that you have. Every now and then you had to do something bad. So you find somebody, you invest the time on making sure it's a bad person.
I mean, vigilantism. I mean, being a vigilante.
Vampiric vigilantism. That's
I couldn't be mad. I cannot be mad at it. I mean, I understand like people hunting and stuff and needing to feed, but yeah, that's that's it's a sense of senseless violence in nature. But yeah, to like go after criminals and stuff, like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad deal.
Have you seen the Twilight movies? I know it's a sore subject, but I had to watch the movies because Deborah was all into the books and all that. But the thing is, that one guy, that one guy, the Edward guy, he's all like, oh, look at this curse I have. I'm forever young and I have all these powers. And it's like, shut up. See, that's what started this whole debate. all these whiny.
Right.
Now I have powers and all that, but now I have to eat a person every couple of months. So
Right. You have to eat a person.
A bad, you know what? You
Okay.
can get a bad person, and
honestly, I would
that
like
person
try to
you should
find
be
it.
saving
Personally, if I
people.
ever turned into a vampire, I thought about an alternative. Like, what if, I mean, I could move a cow.
yeah, I mean, I would try other things first before people.
Yeah, I know, right? Like that'd be the first thing you want to go. It's like I have to try. this.
No, we already know from Red Snow that you can't. That animal blood tastes like warm beer, hot
People still
piss or
drink
something
warm
like
beer.
that.
Yeah, people can still drink.
No, hot piss. It tastes like hot piss.
So
Animal piss.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. So if you turn into a vampire, you know if you eat animals, it's bad food for you, and you're not going to feel good and all that. Me and Deborah just had Burger King before we got here. That's bad.
Okay, no.
Unless,
Okay,
wait. Time
listen.
out. Unless Burger King would like to sponsor Cast of the Pod.
Right. They got those new sliders, triple stacks.
They got sliders.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, no, I'm not going to do it.
Just
I tell you now, no, because
getting a bad person, you might actually be saving people.
Yes.
If you got a really bad person, just think of
I
it.
look at it like this. It's like, I got no vengeance or anybody, but I mean, you can like, you can save like, someone getting assaulted or
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the ideal way to deal with things, but I mean, you don't. No one argues about a tiger killing a deer.
Right.
We don't. If it came down to it, it's like I look at it in the sense of a food chain. At that point, it's like, okay, if a vampire cornered me and had to do that, it's nature. I can't help that. There's nothing I can do. I mean, you are above me on that one. Like you have strength, telekinesis, and can turn me into a right. Yeah. So like,
yeah.
gotta look at it.
But you got it.
Aspect is like, and then like on a morality, and it's like it's not really too bad. I mean, there is necessary violence. It's not really evil, but it's more like necessary violence. I mean, heck, I mean, come on. I mean, hey, I look at it like this. Look, orcas are the worst animals in the world. Okay, like, come on.
So okay. He's rationalized it all out.
Well, look at this.
Right, I can see him right now as the vampire sit down. Like, look, we ain't got time for this, man. You in or out? They sit down having a conversation. And shit,
Vampire.
I've been thinking about this.
Out of one day.
Look,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Cowboy. Back in the day when I was a bouncer, within the first month that I was bouncing, right? Get called to the girls' bathroom. Girls are running out, screaming out of the girls' bathroom. I go in there. There's this one guy that's trying to have his way with a girl in there. She's screaming and kicking and all that, right? That's within the first month of just that. That's one meal right there, just done. Done.
Yeah.
I'm right there. I'm right there with it.
But could you imagine your laundry bill?
So
okay.
I mean, you really think about it, like bullets don't really do anything to you. I mean, like you can stop a shooting.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought about too. Yeah. That's what I thought about too, Deb, about Near Dark. Why they always use guns sometimes? Because you don't want to get your clothes all dirty with blood all the time.
I don't know. I don't even
Dr. Quinn, have you seen Near Dark?
No, I have not seen it. I need to watch that now, man.
Not necessarily. Cobweb made us watch that movie.
So, Josh, what you're saying is if you're a vampire, you should be a bouncer.
Yeah. Snacks right there.
I mean, the only job you probably can do. I mean,
you're at night.
You don't do night jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a good job at the Playboy Mansion, you'd have been straight.
I think if you do more evil than good. as a vampire in like in the entertainment world, it's like, oh yeah, feast on it. Yeah, that's kind of scary. You be doing more evil. You be doing more evil there.
Sooner or later, you'll get bored after a couple.
But then again,
100 years.
Then again, it's like you could. I mean, you could do good and just get rid of some people.
See, he's in for a penny and for a pound.
See, but Cobwebs comparing
your numbers are increasing, Josh.
Thank you. Cobwebs comparing it to the vampires from Near Dark, where they established that they were like Confederate soldiers back in the day, and then they set the Chicago fires. So they've been around for a long time, and these motherfuckers were still going around stealing a car every day. And like I said during that podcast, if you're hundreds of years old and you didn't invest in like Amazon,
bro,
Apple, and you're so broke you got to steal a car every day and hide every day, then you get what you get. They should have had some money. They should have had safe houses all over the country, coffins all over the place. You know, they could have. All they had to do was be in their Winnebago that they had with their own coffins, park in Walmart parking lots because Walmart lets you do that. Drive around the country. You know.
I think that's another thing about being a vampire too. Is like you need like somebody in the underground too at that point, because then you got like lie on birth certificates. You got to keep like a profile of some sort.
That's a lot of work.
It is like you for real. Like you like,
right.
You
this is stuff you got to talk about too. This is stuff you got to talk to them too. When you sit down, it's like how's this going to work out with this? You know, is there like I need contacts,
You're gonna sit down with the vampire before you turn me. You need to explain to me what's gonna happen.
Here's the vampire contract.
Right.
It's like I can understand like the ones that live for like thousands of years can go in the day, but then it's like when you first turn, it's like, yeah, bro, that sun gonna be, and then you got to keep up with some kind of appearance, and then like you do need a crib, like. Yeah, like how do you explain that you were born in like 1994 and it's like the year 2280?
Oh, you just, you leave and go away, and then this is your nephew that came back to inherit take over your business. This is my son, stuff like that. It's easy. I've seen it done hundreds of times. Stephen King's a master of it.
All you have is time, so
yeah, you got plenty of time to figure this shit out. I mean, it's not like you're going anywhere.
Yep.
Just pretend you're some kind of like mountain people hillbilly, and say that your mom never, like, she gave birth to you, and you had like a cousin dad or something like that, and there's no birth certificate.
And, you can get a birth certificate probably pretty easy. I mean, you get all that money saved up. No,
but you were saying how can you explain whatever? That's why your fingerprints ain't on file nowhere. That's why your birth certificate ain't nowhere. You don't have a social security number because you were born in the shack in the mountains somewhere.
I'm pretty sure that the vampire that turned you has all the connections. He'll just like hand over everything to you.
No, he's just gonna drop you off right there. That's no to their assholes.
Right, like
ass Near Dark vampire.
That's your life. Sorry, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, that's your life.
Figure
now.
that shit out. Right, it's too much, man. And this whole thing, and this whole thing about losing my soul to eternal damnation. That's kind of a killer for me. Don't you dare tell me otherwise. You are a demon. Don't you front on me, my son. Okay, you are a creature of the night. Okay, I am the one of the light. Don't you tell me any other way. I am not doing that with Josh. No. You can kill me right now, Mr. Vampire. I'm fighting you to the death.
What happens if he still wants to turn you?
That's the only bet I got right there.
And you fight him, and he still turns you. So then what happens?
Then I'm a vampire. Then
I'm trying to.
I have no choice.
That sound like a cool superhero story right there. Like, he fought his way from becoming a vampire. Then he turned him into one as a curse. Now he has to break the curse. Is there a way back? There is no way back.
I'd watch it.
Josh over there thinking, don't get him started. See, this is what's going on. See, this is why The Thing is such an important movie to us all.
See, that I wouldn't want to. For talking about
There's really no way you can like outdo that. Like, oh, could you turn like? I mean, your mind is gone. That thing will no.
No, I'm not gonna do that. No.
I'd be okay with
I,
werewolves.
Yeah.
would you do the werewolf?
Yeah.
Vampire werewolf.
Yeah,
But then, you know what this thing about it is? That if you were have to be a werewolf, doesn't that thing kind of like it looks like it hurts when you change all the time.
That's life.
You know, it doesn't look like it.
It does look like
It does not look like it's.
It hurts my bones when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, shit, we're
Ain't
old.
out of the bed.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure people get like become like Wolverine and get used to it. But I mean, with lore explored, it's like, yeah, being a werewolf is more choice. Daytime, immune to diseases.
Just buy
Like,
a bunch of bacon.
You got an extended lifespan at least.
Yeah, you do. That's what I'm saying. Werewolves are cool.
Yeah.
I
I
wanna-
can deal with that. Being of the night, like, nah, bro. Like the sun, bro. Like, no.
Cobwebs got me all worked up over here. I'm showing work tattoos off and shit. And
I
no,
saw it. I'm like, Chill's trying to figure out what the heck, man. You over here flexing on us.
You didn't see what it was?
nah, it don't matter. But
It was a bad.
Yeah,
but-
it does. Yeah.
But right now, Dr. Quinn said something that when I read that in the 90s when it first came out, that this I'm a nerd out right now. But when Wolverine popped his claws after they took the adamantium out of his body, and he pointed out that he didn't have a healing factor, and it was re-popping the channels in his arms, like when you pierce your ears, you have to re-pierce your.
Mhm.
I had never thought about that shit. That every single time the character popped his claws, he was cutting himself. He was
Cutting
digging,
himself every time,
but
and
he
it
was
just like
healing. And then when it was just his bone claws, it's just there. And every time he do it, it was. I mean, that was good writing back in the 90s.
yeah, it really was. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
But
like,
it makes
ooh,
sense though.
Mm-hmm.
It does
Not that,
make
we're,
sense.
not that we're on a comic book podcast right now. I'm sorry. We're driving all over the place. But now, if you could be the creature from 1982's The Thing, would you do that?
Hell no.
No, because then you lose all of yourself there. Then I would have to
Alright.
agree with Cobweb and say no.
Yeah, nah, bro. I can't. No.
So wait. Here's a good question. Have you seen Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Dr. Quinn?
Yes.
Who do you think would have taken over the Earth faster, the Thing or the Body Snatchers?
The thing. That thing with is both as both high in plain sight. Those pods are too obvious. And that thing,
takes
and
too
the thing is
long.
the thing is like an assassin. Like the moment he wind up into a popular, it was a wrap. Like, what phone call was going to get made? You get assimilated, and then boom, there is no pod, no evidence, nothing. Like that. The thing, 27,000 hours, he said. That's not very long. Could be faster than that.
That's what, about 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1,125 days.
About 3 years.
So, but think about it. If you want to compare the Thing to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, they had all that time where they were running the sanitation trucks. So they were already,
Yeah.
they were in the infrastructure. They were in the city. They were controlling
Yeah.
people, and they still hadn't taken over anything except that town, because by the end of the movie, that's when they're trying to send the pods out to start up somewhere else. If it would have been the Thing, it would have just grown and grown and grown and grown.
Yeah, because the thing would have just walked off somewhere and just kept doing what it was doing.
Yeah. But you gotta admire the Invasion of the Body Snatcher thing, because they had like they knew how to network. You know what I'm saying? They had like you know what I'm saying? They had like a whole set up, like they had it tight. They had it figured out,
But the thing is hive-minded though, too, though.
It's long-term thinker,
That's
long-term plan.
That's a scary thing. It's the ultimate.
Because
killer.
this is what it does. Because what it does is it'll just go out to a planet, crash on us, go to a planet, and just hibernate there into a brand new planet, like it did Earth, when wait for somebody just to dig it up. And once you dig it up, oh, okay, this is a good one for us. Let's take over this one and wash it all over again. That's the game. Like, how long was it down there?
Right. Like I gotta look at it said it in the beginning of the movie too. It said millions of years ago.
Yeah.
Right. You talk about playing a long game.
Yeah.
So
It knew what it was doing. It lived so long it knew how planets were formed.
and that's at the end. It was like, oh well, just freeze me. I'll be here. It just no, but nerding out again, talking about books again, and talking about the hive mind. Dr. Quinn, have you ever read Ender's Game?
No, I haven't read Ender's Game. Everybody recommends it.
If you get a chance, at least the first 3 books: Ender's Game, Speaker for the Dead, and Xenocide. And it deals with a hive mind and a hive queen as part of the story. It's not the only part of the story, you know. And the writer back in the 70s got all these awards. A lot of stuff from Star Wars came up from out there. The Last Starfighter came from there. The Starship Troopers, a lot of that from the movie, not the book, but from the movie came from there. And
Starship Troopers was also bit from Blue Gender. That's actually where they came from completely. Blue Gender, the anime, and just brought in Americanized it and brought it in live action and just changed the name.
But yeah, give that a shot if you get a chance. It's something else.
I will. I definitely
I'm
will.
gonna put that Blue Gender on my list to catch up on.
That's what's up. Hey, Dr. Quinn, question for you.
Yes.
You got any shows coming up?
Actually, yes. Hold on. Let me pull up that. So I want to make sure I say
Because you're a pretty good performer.
Thank
you get around. You on stage quite a bit.
I like how Cobweb has these subtle transitions.
Oh, they're subtle. I just bring it right in.
So we're some performing.
I just change it.
So I'm performing at the Grid on the 25th of this month. So people in the Chicagoland area, on the 25th of February this month. Yes, the Grid. Me and a little kid will be performing as the Citizen, opening for our homie Mo Cyrus for his album release party.
Cool.
So yeah,
cool.
we're definitely doing that. So yeah, come out, y'all. It's gonna be fun.
That's what's up.
So what you got next, Cobb?
I know that we gotta talk about one thing though.
Oh shit.
You know, we gotta talk about this one thing. It's the elephant in the room. And we gotta talk about one thing, and that's about De La.
Resting.
I just want to get with Trugoy passing. People were trying to ask me, at work, today, like, what is that like? They don't know what De La is, and I was comparing it to like the concept of like, say for instance, Keith Richards died from the Rolling Stones. It's that equivalent of a wavelength in the hip hop community.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid growing up watching De La Soul. It influenced me in hip hop to actually think, like the whole way they dressed, that you could just be yourself and you can do whatever you wanted to do in the music and just be you. And it changed the game. It really did change the whole course of hip hop in a totally different direction than what it was going. And that was De La Soul. Before, everybody was doing, the hard stuff. And then they came with this gear. And next thing you know, you have a whole new genre of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And they rode that lane hard.
This is where De La is the people that birthed, cats like Slum Village, even like, your Camp Lows, your Black Star, like Quelle, Denmark, myself, like being different, your Odd Futures, Farside came around the same time, but still on that same vibe, like it's wild to me. When yesterday I was like, dog, come on now, dog, 54, bro.
Yeah,
that's wild. I'm past it. I'm like, and one thing I'll do. I mean, it's Yeah, De La is a staple. You know, Tony Baker said it best. You know, like he was comparing relationships to rap groups. He's like, you know, I need a relationship like De La Soul. See, they ain't never broke up. You ain't never seen, in real talk, you ain't never seen them go solo, work on solo projects. You know, if there was arguing, they'd argue, but they always were De La Soul came together at the end. It was always them. Never, you know, missing a guy, replacing a guy. Like, there have been so many groups, you know, outside of Wu-Tang, it like that have broke apart, you know, try to make the long run. These like De La, you know, has stayed there. Period.
That's what I was gonna say. If there was an issue, you never heard about it.
No, you didn't.
It wasn't anybody's business except whoever's business it was.
Which was De La business.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly, in my eyes, they are the greatest rap group of all time.
Agree.
I mean, it's just this. The way that they influence the industry and everything else like that. The sampling style.
Yeah.
You know, everything like that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Pain don't make it better.
I gotta get that. I gotta get that much. I gotta go out back and listen to Much More again. I remember when that first came out, Much More with them and Jay Dilla. I'm like, that's a wild one. I always love that track. They got classics under their belt. You can't take that away from them. They got classics.
Well, that was another thing that makes this as bad as it is. The timing of it's less than a month before their first few albums are digitally released. They got the rights back to them from Tommy Boy, and it was going to be a big momentous. It still is, but I mean it's bittersweet now.
And he didn't get this right. He didn't get to see long. He didn't get, live long enough to see it.
You know, this explains that. I'm gonna keep it quick. This explains what happened at the Grammys. Well, you only saw Pasta News at the Grammy performance with the De La with the hip hop tribute. You know, it was just Pasta. They didn't have Trugoy wasn't there. He wasn't. You know, and you think something like that at the Grammys, he would have showed up for that.
Well, he said he put something out about a year or so ago about how he missed and he couldn't even get on stage.
He had that battery pack.
Yeah.
He had that vest he had to wear. I seen it. I had it. I saw him. I took my daughter to see him in Chicago. Their last performance in Chicago at the Taste of Chicago. That was my daughter's first concert that they ever went to was De La Soul. Yeah, that's what a dad who loves hip hop does.
Man, I know she'll remember that for the rest of her life. That's wild. Damn, bro.
So let's bring it up from there. Not that I'm trying to skirt away from.
No. We got to keep it going. I just had it's important.
Well,
at least to me.
We jumped around everywhere from bringing up De La Soul to Wolverine to Ender's Game to anime and coming back around to 1982's The Thing. You know what we didn't do?
What?
The calculator.
What? I thought you was going to do it now.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were doing.
I'm building to it right now, bro.
Dude, what's
I was I was working our way over there.
Then why did you?
I'm slowly building to it, segue into it, and this is the way Cobweb's like. Okay, so we're talking about the movie. We're talking about the movie. Hey, Dr. Quinn, you got a rap career. What's going on with your rap career? I mean, we're gonna work it into the music and then go from there.
Yeah. Structure Josh.
Bro.
Always with the structure, man. God, I'm telling you, man. We're gonna get to A, B, C, D sooner or later. We just take a stop at C and Q every now and then. Goddamn.
See, me and Cobweb always used to be on the same page, agreed
Oh,
100% on everything. Then he changed his beard up and we quit looking like twins. And then now he
No. Wait a minute. Okay, this is lavish. Okay, so you can't talk about a man's beard at all. You know, at any point when it gets to this level of lavishness, you have to. Where's the calculator at?
all right. Bring up the calculator.
Got me over here tripping about my beard.
No, I'm just saying,
That's
change
what
it up.
man
And then we quit
Dude,
agreeing.
I love my beard, bro. It's a
I didn't say
delicate
there- I
thing,
didn't say there was
man.
nothing wrong about it. Don't get
Dude,
sensitive.
I got like conditioners I have to use on this thing. You know, you got like detangler and oil and moisturizer, and can't use this type of comb. And jeez, a lot of work.
I thought you were the only one that did that, Josh.
No, I don't do. I just use soap. It's just soap. Take a bath. And
What? No.
Anyways, Dr. Quinn's like, they need to shut the fuck up.
Night
All
to
right.
night.
All right.
All
So,
right.
so the calculator of doom. Who wants to go first? On a possible 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. You can throw points in there. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. What do you give it?
I give it, since it was my first time seeing it. I liked the movie. It scared me. And so I give it an 8.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I don't like giving out perfects, but I'll give
Give
it
it a 9.
yes.
I'm gonna go. Me or are you?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Dr. Lee? All right, I'm gonna give it a 9.8.
I can live with that.
9.8 because I just wanted to see my man actually get a better death scene. That's the reason why.
I gotta give it a 10.
Okay.
I mean, it was just flawless.
I gave it an 8 because they killed the dogs. So I'll probably get a 10. I took
She ain't
2
joking.
points.
She ain't joking at all.
No animal violence. It would have been hot.
I honestly think if they wouldn't have started off with the spaceship, I would have given it a 10. But just the fact that it just spoils it right from the beginning.
It was alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that bothered me though. It really did with what's the name not getting a proper death scene. Everybody else got it. Yeah, Windows. When Windows didn't get his. Everybody got one except for Windows. Windows was cool.
Trash. You know, I would have liked to see him getting completely ate up, but you know, right, I agree with that.
That's right. Well, I mean, what was wrong with his scene?
He
didn't have
he
one.
He got ate up. Like I felt like with all that effort to flip him upside down, you could have at least like finished the job.
It bit his face and it coated him with goo, and then
But it can expand. I mean, like it can like do a snake thing and stuff and just consume the rest of the body. I mean, come on, it tore up the dog. Like it just grew it. It grew 3 times the size of a normal dog. Said, hey, we want to mess it all up today.
True. But so we averaged the thing. 1982's The Thing averages with Cast the Pod a 9.2. That's respectable.
Ooh,
Very
Wow.
respectable.
That's nice.
Ooh, that's high. That's very high for here. We
Yeah.
have some pretty good ones though. That's up there next to Gremlins.
Yeah.
Deb says she's going to go back to
Gremlins is
every
good.
single one of the podcasts and then pull our averages from there. That way we can start actually
Yep.
keeping a database of it.
I just didn't.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, we got to start tracking this data.
So we do, Dr. Quinn, you were talking about it earlier. We do have an episode where we went into Event Horizon.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to do a revisit of that sometime in the future, we're down for it.
Cool.
That's because that's
it's-
Josh's favorite movie.
That's
Yes.
Yo, that movie,
It is
movie's
good.
so damn underrated, man. Like, I can see why they got Lawrence Fishburne to be Morpheus in the Matrix after that. Like, so underrated.
Well, because of Event Horizon, that's when Cobweb learned that Larry was Cowboy Curtis from Pee Wee Herman.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that
It's
either?
I
okay.
never
It's
knew-
okay.
I
I
never-
think everybody learns at some point.
I-
It's so funny how like non-know how like everyone misses it at some point. You know, like
We were watching. What were we watching the other day? And did it just pop up on YouTube or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, we were watching.
No, it was, you know what? It was the Lost Boys, because I didn't realize that Kiefer Sutherland and Donald Sutherland were related.
I never knew that.
I did not know. I did not realize that as a throughout these entire years.
It's okay. I never knew that either, man.
No, but Cowboy Curtis the other day, Deborah had YouTube running and it was on our TV and it was just running through a cycle and it was going through the algorithm and doing shit. And then all of a sudden a Pee Wee Herman episode comes up and it's him and Cowboy Curtis and they're talking for a long time. And there was none. I mean, it was Lawrence Fishburne doing the voice, but there was nothing coming out of his mouth that sounded like Lawrence Fishburne.
It was
It was an episode where he needed
Cowboy Curtis needed pajamas.
yeah.
So they asked John B. Pee Wee Herman gave his wish up and asked John B to give him pajamas. He gave him cowboy pajamas.
No, but the thing was,
Yeah. You know what?
Cowboy Curtis was happy. He was so happy.
hey, that led to Morpheus. That led to Event Horizon because all this was
And
before that.
And here's another thing about that always gets me, right? Sam Neill, why is he always somebody creepy?
Even in Jurassic Park.
Have you seen that? Oh, was it it came out in 69 or 71? Possession.
No.
It's like an Italian film, but it stars him and him and his wife are in this really toxic, abusive relationship where she winds up finding something and it winds up, she feeds men to it and it winds up becoming Sam Neill in the end.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you know what? I think it just came up on Shudder too. I think they just put it up.
Yeah, you also watch that.
Possessions.
Sam Neill
Yeah,
is-
it just came up.
All right.
Sam Neill is bro.
Everybody time out for a second. Don't nobody say nothing. Just listen. Y'all hear that?
No.
We have a Shih Tzu and he sounds like a chainsaw right now. He's snoring. So I was gonna say sorry. I mean, it's loud. I hear him in my headphones. So we're gonna have to put that on the list, Cobweb.
What's it called? The Possession?
Possession.
The Possession.
Let me see. Sam Neill.
Yeah, we'll put that on there.
Turn my mic.
Because I saw it the other day too. And I was like looking at it, I was thinking about watching it,
Oh, it's a
you know, but then I watched that stupid movie Phantasm instead. So
Hey, that is not a stupid movie. It's not a good movie.
that is a stupid
It's
movie.
a classic
Okay, I
horror.
messed up on the year of 1980. It was a
1981.
film. Yeah.
All right, I got it right.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the list. Dr. Quinn, what are your social media links, sir?
My social media, you can follow me on all streaming platforms at DRXQUINNX. You can find me on all social media under DRXQUINNX, except for Twitter, because Twitter being foo-foo right now. Give me back, free my old account. You know, but you can find me on Twitter at DRXQUINNX with 2 underscores. God damn you, Twitter.
Oh snap. Hey, one more thing. Hey, what's the name of the new album?
Oh yeah, Gooch is God and God is everything. Y'all make sure y'all go out and stream that release me that new album I just dropped over here on the 28th. So yes, Gooch is God and God is everything. Make sure y'all look that up on all streaming services, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, whichever one you want, or even YouTube.
How about on Amazon? How's that doing for artists?
Oh, it's on Amazon too.
Well, yeah, that's where Cobweb sent me the link. But I mean, which one does better for you? Like, which one would you prefer people hear you on?
Anyone that they can accept, they have accessibility to, I would say.
Nice.
If you're an iPhone user, go to Apple Music. If you like Spotify, use that. Or if you don't pay for streaming services, there is YouTube and it's all on there.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, Dr. Quinn, go ahead and hold on right here. We're just gonna do an outro real quick.
Most definitely.
Deb, you have anything to say about the thing or anything else before we end?
No, just you shouldn't have killed the dogs.
All right, y'all. So until next time, I'm Josh.
I'm Cobweb.
I'm Deb.
Thank you, Dr. Quinn, for joining us today. Hopefully, we'll see you back soon.
Thank y'all for having me. This was so much fun. So much fun.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for coming.
All right, everyone. Until next time. Peace.
Bye,
Peace
everybody.
out.
Peace, y'all.
So we'll end that right there.
I can't believe y'all can't hear him.
Yeah, he sounds loud. He sounds really loud.
No, we can't hear him at all. I can't hear him.
That's good.
I can hear him.
Let's
See,
do,
you go ahead, man. That shit was hot, dude.
let-
Good one, guys.
let's do a quick getting your social medias again so we can throw that out separately and pushing your album. Just that information separate from what we just recorded. That way we can put that out on its alone also.
Totally. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. So just gonna kind of fake it like an intro again. And y'all ready?
Yeah.